And we're live on YouTube. How are we doing? YouTube, it's great to see you. Oh, it's good to be here. Right, slowly getting on towards the end of the year is what we're doing. It's slowly coming around. Hope we've all had a good Christmas. So, had an interesting day today. I took my family and one of my son's friends, was my friend's kid. You know, my son's friend. You know, we took him to the cinema as well. We went to Peckhamplex. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the South London area or anywhere in London, Peckhamplex is London's most successful independent cinema. You know, it's very, very good. It's very, very cheap. You can actually get any cinema ticket for £5 all day long. You know, adult and children pay the same. It's £5 unless you win, then it's £6. You know, so you know it's a good cinema. I've been going there for quite a few years now, and as far as I can, even when I was a kid, it's always been a fiver. But there are do's and don'ts when it comes to the cinema. There are certain rules and boundaries you don't cross. It's cinema etiquette, and it drives me mad that people can't follow the most basics of basics when it comes to cinema rules. You see. And the first and foremost one is where to sit, because me and my little unit, my little family unit, were the first ones in there, and we had choice, we had selection of anywhere to sit in this cinema. So we chose somewhere to sit, which was none too high, none too close, none too far to the left or right. It was bang in the middle, you know. Just a little bit to the left, so we don't have to climb over people if we need to get up. It was a good spot, yeah. And if you've seen the thumbnail for this, you'll know that there is someone's head. This person came in about 3 or 4 minutes after we sat down. There was no one else there, and this asshole sat right in front of me. Dude, you had like maybe 150 other seats to choose from in the entire cinema, and you sat in front of me. Dude, fuck off. Seriously, move. There's certain do's, there's certain don'ts in a cinema. This guy does not know the rules when it comes to cinema. You know, another one which grinds my gears, I'm gonna say grinds my gears, is mobile phones, cell phones. People, please, you have to turn them off or put them onto silent, or do something, because you don't use them when the main show is on. You just don't do it. You don't do it, because the second you open your phone and turn it on, it glares in your face. And I've got very good peripheral vision. I can see you. I don't want to hear you talking on the phone. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. It's annoying, you know. And then you got the kids that sit right at the back, the ones that even when nothing's funny, you know, the kids that go, ha 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 ha, it's so funny, he just got shot in the face. Really? Calm it down just a bit. And then you've got the amazing people that sit there eating as loud as they possibly can with everything. You could have chewy sweets like that. You see, you could have popcorn like that, you know. Even the bag, everything has to be everything has to be done as loudly as possible. Why? I can't read these comments, so I do apologize, but there are certain rules you do and don't do in a cinema. I mean, granted, a lot of us, we all take our own stuff into the cinema because we don't want to pay cinema prices for food or drink. That's how they make their money. You see, they make their money. You know, if you have a movie production that costs, say, 50 million to produce, you know, and 50 million people go and see it in the world and pay £1 or $1, it's made its money back. You know, the rest of the cinema ticket goes to the cinema and paying for this, that and the other, but the majority of their makings goes from concessions, you know, like popcorn, hot dogs, drink. So we all take our own stuff. That's cool. I understand that. That's fine. You see, and then what you get, right, is there's always one in every cinema, usually on premiere day. You'll get one person thinking it's clever to go into the cinema with a tiny little GoPro attached to his head or something, little camera set up, right, trying so desperately to get a recording of that movie. He's trying so desperately hard, and he's got two options he can do. He can either upload it, bosh, and then there's a trail, there's a digital trail of, you know, of him uploading stuff, which you can get caught for, or he can do what no one wants to do anymore and put it on a DVD, give it to the Chinese bloke. You want to buy a DVD? You want salt and vinegar? You know? And it's like, talk for £5. No. See, and let me tell you the story now, yeah? Before all this Spotify and all this, not Spotify, sorry, Showbox, all these other streaming sites came in with illegal movies. It's what they are, they're illegal. I mean, I don't watch the movies, I watch on Showbox like The Flash, because I pay for my premium service at home. But you know, for me it's easier to binge watch on Showbox. It's what it is. You know, but you get these people, they'll try their hardest to upload something. And but before all this happened, you had the DVD guy or the DVD woman. It was brilliant, because where I work, you see, once or twice a week, yeah, this Chinese lady come in, didn't speak a fucking lick of English. Yeah, nothing. She couldn't speak a fucking word, right? And she'll sit in the locker room with her trolley, and her trolley was full of two things: some groceries on the top, and the rest of it was packed full of DVDs, right? And you could say to her, "New one? Oh yeah, I got this one. 3 for £5. 7 for 10. Really? Oh, okay. Then she'd say, "You want Jiggy Jiggy DVD? No Jiggy Jiggy. I got this one. She give good head. No, thank you. No." Right. So I said to her, "How about I just take the entire bag for free?" "You'll not take for free? Well, how about I take this bag and you fuck off?" So I took the bag and she fucked off. What's she gonna do? Yeah? I'll quite easily get on the phone to immigration. It's no odds to me whatsoever. You see? And those DVDs, might I add, I didn't make a penny from. I actually gave them back to her after she left. So I'm not that much of an arsehole. She promptly left about 3 or 4 minutes after me. I gave them back to her and said to her, "Don't come back." And she never came back. It's funny that, isn't it? You know, because I don't know where that money goes. That money could very well go to paying towards her rent, or it could go towards someone else and their drug habit or funding terrorism. I don't know. I'd just rather her not have money that way. You know, go and apply for what you need to apply for. Go and get yourself a job. Job's a good one. But cinema etiquette, the rules in the cinema. Let me know in the comments below what you think contributes to good cinema etiquette. You know, there's certain rules you do and don't cross when in the cinema. Tell me what you think these things are, because I've told you the things that annoy me. There are more, you know, like taking a 6-month-old into the cinema, into a Universal or PG. They're not going to appreciate the movie at all. But every 5 minutes it's, "Ah! Ah! Feed me, woman! Ah!" That's what you're going to get. "Change my backside, woman!" Ah! That's all you're going to get from a 6-month-old. And yet some people take their kids. "Yeah, I'm going to take little Johnny. Yeah, I called him Johnny because, you know, had to name him after the miracle of what happened, you know, after, you know, it split. So we called him Johnny. And yeah, so I took him to the cinema. I couldn't leave him with his dad because we don't know who or where he is. But I took him to the cinema anyway. And then after cinema, we're going to go to the cheap chicken shop. And I'm going to give little Johnny some nuggets, because I give my 6-month-old nuggets, innit? Yeah. That's the sort... This is the sort of shit society we live in, you know. And I'm gonna give little Johnny some Coca-Cola to wash it down with, innit? Yeah. You know, how old's mum? How old's mum? Mum's gonna be 15 years old, haven't got a clue about life, and she'll never get a job. But yet she's got money to go to the cinema with her 6-month-old. Yep. So, cinema etiquette, cinema rules and boundaries, do's and don'ts. Let me know what you think are very good do's and what are very, very bad don'ts. Things that you just don't do in the cinema. I mean, you probably noticed I'm sat in my car, by the way. I'm not stationary out of choice. I'm trying to make my way to my mum and dad's house so I can move a little bit of furniture, because my dad's not in a fit state to be moving stuff. And I'm stuck in traffic. If there was no traffic, I'd probably nearly be there by now, because I'd started this live 11 minutes and 4 seconds ago, and it only takes about 15 minutes to get there with no traffic. So yeah, you know, but yeah, so cinema etiquette. So you go somewhere, you go to a cinema and there's very limited places to sit. I understand you may be forced to sit in front of someone, you see. If you are a tall person with a massive throw, don't sit at the front or in the middle. If you get there early enough, you can actually sit at the back where you can actually see. And the back seats are often very much better because they are actually that much higher. Yeah. And you're not going to piss anyone else off. Equally, if you are quite a tall person, it would make sense for you to sit to the left or to the right of the screen. Hey, yo, it's a red light, you motherfucker. Excuse me, my language, I do apologize. I'm currently in traffic at a red, and these ATS, or automated traffic signals, are red, and there's someone behind me who is using their horn, and if they keep using their horn at me, I'm going to get rather pissed off. So, you know, these ATS will change. I know they'll change because I live here. I know what these lights do. But the film I went to see, I went to see the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You know, so if you don't want any spoilers, spoiler alert, I'm going to be talking about the new Spider-Man film. Please leave if you don't want to hear anything about Spider-Man and Into the Spider-Verse. If you are interested in hearing my thoughts and opinions of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, then please, by all means, stay and we can talk about it. So, spoiler alert, it's going to happen. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a Marvel movie made by Sony. You know what? I'm going to get so pissed off in a minute. Yes, I am. You know, you can hear this, right? And it's an animation. It's an animated movie, and it's very, very good. First of all, my rating of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I'm going to give it a good 8.5, nearly a 9 out of 10, because I enjoyed it. Nothing with me ever gets a 10 out of 10, so don't feel too bad about that. The animation is amazing. The CGI in that movie is great. They've cut the frames down. Oh, shut up. The frames per second in this movie, I think they've cut down to a good 15 or 20 frames a second to give it a slightly jagged feel. So like for an animation. Look, the lights go green, then we go. You see? The lights go green, then we go. And then everyone starts whinging about it. My God. Yeah, so when you do start watching it, you know, there's nothing wrong with your eyes. It is literally done that way for a reason. But it's amazing CGI with almost tiny amounts of comic book strip editing in there as well. You know, like the flicks of a spark or something, or pow. Just little things. It's very comic book-esque. You know, I like it. It's a good 8.5 out of 10 as movies go. And this is the bit that spoils it for everyone. So if you don't want to know what happens, leave now. The Peter Parker in this universe where this whole movie starts off, he dies! He dies! Why would they do this? You see? And he gets replaced with this other kid who has other abilities other than just being Spider-Man. You know, he can turn invisible when he has the power of lightning, which he eventually learns how to use. But all the other Spider-Men, Spider-Women, Spider-Pig, blah, 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 they're all in it as well. They all come into the movie through a breach through the multiverse caused by Kingpin. Kingpin in this is always been a large guy. Kingpin, through comic book history, has been a large guy and a nasty bit of work. But he does what he does for his love for Vanessa. We all know this if we're comic book fans. But in this one, he is a bit too big. I mean, he's like, do you know what it is? Kingpin in this movie came in like a wrecking ball. Kingpin is large. He's huge with a tiny little head. Tiny, tiny little head. And, you know, so go and watch the movie. I've given you a couple of spoilers. It's a great movie to watch. Definitely, if you've got kids, definitely take your kids to see Spider-Man. But whatever you do, if you do go to the cinema, just take note of little things. Come back to this video, you know, and just to give me a comment. Tell me what you find in the cinema that annoys you. What gets on your nerves when you go to the cinema? What do you think would be a nice touch? See, for me, I think a really nice touch would be, especially in screen 1 and 2, because you pay for these screen 1, screen 2 movies, right? Say if this is the seating arrangement, you've got the screen here. It always goes up, yeah, at a slant, so people at the back can see. I'm thinking when the screen starts, the whole thing should lift up slightly, just a little bit. I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe half a foot, but it moves, just the back lifts up, so you can get a very good clear line of sight. Maybe it's just me. I've never seen that before. If it does exist anywhere, let me know. Because if it doesn't exist anywhere, I'm claiming intellectual property and rights on that. My idea, me, all mine. Woo. So anyway, I am stuck in traffic and my battery is running out. I'm Chris, you're watching Chris's Real Talk. Tell me what grinds your gears in the cinema or things that make you happy in the cinema. Drop a comment below. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notifications buttons. Tell your friends. Find me on Facebook. You guys are amazing.